Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I'm here tonight talking to you guys live on Monday, March 13th, 2023. I'm here live on Facebook, and I'm also co-recording, so I'm looking up and down to a camera for YouTube as well. I have a lot to cover this week in astrology, and if you are just joining me, go ahead and post below. I love to hear your astrological sign, where you're tuning in from, and what part of the world that you are tuning in from. I have a bunch of people joining live tonight. Like and share, that gets the algorithm rolling. And we have a lot to go over this week in astrology. First of all, how is everybody doing from the daylight savings time change? I know myself, it throws me off when we have to spring forward and move ahead. I don't know, it throws me off for about a week. I don't know if anybody else is having those types of things. So welcome if you're just joining live on Monday night. I'm going to be going over, there's a lot of planets moving. I told you guys, I've been talking about all of this energy going on. Oh, hey, Phyllis, Colorado, welcome. Scorpio. Thanks for letting me know. I'm never sure if these lives are actually like, once somebody comments, and I know that they're going well and that people can hear me. So welcome. But we have a lot of planets moving, and if you guys remember, I've been talking about this March is a crazy time for astrology, for the planets, for everything going on. And there's a lot of planetary activity this month, like crazy. I could do broadcast after broadcast after broadcast. I don't want to bore you guys, but it's a lot of energy. And so when that happens, when there's so much going on in the astrological skies, it means there's a lot of change at hand. There's a lot of things shifting. I always compare the planets to almost like departments in a company, like HR and financial and all the different departments, marketing and publishing and all the departments of a company. And when if you think about it, if the head of each department were to change simultaneously within a company, there would be so much going on. It would be kind of crazy. So that's what's happening here in astrology. So please make sure you hit that little like button, share with your friends, tag a friend if you like, because they might need to know this energy too. We're all going to be affected. There's so many planets being affected right now. Namely, this week it's going to be Juno. Well, actually, that happened on Saturday, but I'm including Juno in this broadcast. Juno, then we have Venus, and then we also have Mercury, and then we even have the spring equinox technically next Monday, but that's even coming too. We have next week, we have a lot of planets also changing. It's just going to be a lot. So welcome, Almir, yay, and Melinda in Vermont, Capricorn, Cancer Moon, Scorpio rising. We got a couple Scorpio folks here. Almir, hello, Taurus, Moon, Cancer, Taurus with Moon in Cancer, and then Sagittarius rising. Welcome. I love how you guys all know your big three. I think that's amazing. It's always very helpful to know your big three, your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, because that really helps to kind of give you a good general overview, not just the sun sign. A lot of people just look at their sun sign, and sometimes it's like, well, that doesn't really resonate, or well, whatever. So knowing the big three, I think, really fills it in and rounds it out. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. You guys are amazing. And I love seeing you all on Monday. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Like I said, over the, how's everybody doing though from the daylight savings time? Hey, Lori, welcome. Pisces, Lori. Okay, so I want to go over a couple things that also happened last week that, we just to review very quickly. Last week, we had the full moon on Tuesday, and we had Saturn in Pisces. I had so many people saying to me last week, oh my gosh, Gretchen, I don't know what's wrong with me. I have no energy, or I have too much energy, or I have a lot of anxiety, or I have a lot of stuff. When these again, when these planets are moving, especially Saturn into Pisces, that's a 2-year long thing. And if you guys missed my broadcast about that, I have both of those on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page and my new TikTok page. I have a little bit on there too about that. But if you want in-depth, definitely YouTube and Facebook. But Saturn in Pisces is a big, huge deal. It's going to be lasting for 2 years, and we're feeling it. You know, it's been a lot of energy going on. And then over the weekend, we had Juno, I'm going to be talking about in just a moment, and also went into Taurus, and then also Jupiter formed a conjunction with Chiron. That only happens like, you know, very infrequently, like once every 12 years or so. It took place in Aries. So something came up over the weekend for us to heal. And I know I'm talking about this in hindsight, but it's still active as of the time of the broadcast. And it will be all this week because Juno and Chiron are two very slow moving planets. So when they aspect each other, it's just, you know, basically they're still hanging out together. So Jupiter makes things bigger, and Chiron is something we have to heal. So whether it's physical healing or mental or emotional or spiritual or whatever kind of healing there is, sexual even, all the layers of healing that comes with Chiron coming together with Jupiter in the sky. The peak of it was yesterday on Sunday the 12th, but it's going to be active still this whole entire week, and that took place in Aries. A lot of head stuff. Aries is the head, headaches and, you know, different things with the head. So we want to watch that. So, okay. So welcome everybody. Like and share, and post below your astrological sign if you're just joining. Okay. So tomorrow we have two things going on March 14th, 2023, and one of those is Mars is going to be square Neptune. Mars is square Neptune. So Mars is going to be very active this week. In fact, I would say it's one of the more active as far as the transits go. Mars is going to be very active. It's like we're at the last really week or so of Mars being in Gemini. It's like almost 2 weeks. Mars will be leaving Gemini. Finally, it's been in Gemini since, last year. And that's very abnormally long time because Mars was retrograde. Mars is going to move into Cancer on March 25th. But we have 2 final weeks of Mars in Gemini. And boy, those 2 weeks are kind of volatile. Like Mars is kind of like making a grand exit, I think, in Gemini. So if you are a Gemini or if you are a Pisces, these 2 planets, these 2 signs are going to be very activated this week, and then also Taurus too. So Mars is forming a square with Neptune that's active right now. It's going to be active. The peak of it is on Tuesday night, tomorrow night on the 14th at 7:39 p.m. Eastern time. Earlier than that, if you're out on the West Coast, Mars square Neptune. And Mars is in Gemini. Neptune's in Pisces. Now, what is this? Well, Mars is our go, go, go. It's our oomph. It's our drive. It's our ambition. It's our, you know, kind of even physical vitality is Mars. And so with Mars being in Gemini and then Neptune highlighting it, Neptune is almost like, I don't want to say the opposite of Mars, but Neptune is like dreaming, illusions, tired, tired. It's out of it. It's a little bit foggy, fuzzy. It's a little sleepy. And so when these two come together, Mars has its drive and ambition, and then Neptune kind of makes it sort of clunk down and sort of not have its normal drive, its normal ambition. It's like all of a sudden Mars is like, oh, I want to just take a nap and just clock out. And so you might think, oh, well, that's from daylight savings time because I lost an hour. Nope, it's from Mars square Neptune. So Mars square Neptune can definitely affect our physicality, our vitality, and definitely our hopes, our dreams, and our ambitions. It's a little not quite so good for that. What it is good for is, and it's a square, remember, so they're not getting along. So all the mutable signs are going to feel this, okay? So even Sagittariuses and even Virgos are going to be feeling this too. All the mutable signs will be feeling this. So it's something that we want to kind of keep in mind as we're going through. We might need some extra sleep and all that kind of stuff. Oh no, Rosalie, hello, Capricorn, Vermont. Your car got hit by another car. Oh my gosh, spun your car around. Oh no, your only vehicle's totaled. I am so sorry. Everybody on the broadcast, and even if you're watching it after the fact, please send Rosalie lots of love, lots of positive light, lots of good energy. I'm a Reiki master. I can send you some Reiki. And if anybody else is out there, a Reiki person, or even just saying prayers and lots of love and positive vibes for Rosalie. She had a pretty bad car accident. I'm so sorry, girl. Oh my gosh, you have been through the ringer, Rosalie. So, and this could be part of this difficult energy that we're kind of feeling, this Mars square Neptune. And in addition to that, tomorrow night, again on the 14th, on March 14th, we have the last quarter lunar cycle, which is the second chance full moon. So the full moon was peaked last Tuesday. And like I said, every Tuesday this month, we're going to have some kind of big lunar cycle. And so this is the second chance full moon. It's also called the last quarter lunar cycle, or sometimes it's even called the fourth quarter lunar cycle. Whatever you call it, it's a time, they call it a time of crisis in astrology. It is taking place in Sagittarius, and again, here we are with a mutable sign in Sagittarius. So if you are a Sagittarius, you'll definitely be feeling that for sure, that you'll be in the heart of it. And so it is, if you look in the sky, it's going to look like a half of a moon with the dark side to the right and the bright side to the left. And so basically what this is we're reevaluating it's basically continuing the work that we started during the last full moon cycle. And the full moon cycle was all about releasing, letting go, getting rid of something. Remember that full moon was in Virgo. Now we have Sagittarius forming, the moon in Sagittarius forming a square with the sun in Pisces. That's always happens during the last quarter lunar cycle. The moon and the sun are square each other. So see here what I'm saying? Mars is square Neptune, and then you have the sun square the moon. Both of those squares are hard. Think about squaring off with somebody, right? That's they're battling in the sky. And so it's a time of reevaluation. It's like we have to kind of reevaluate our plans. And even at the same time, almost, the sun is going to be opposite of Mars. So see, if you hear Mars is active a lot, and that's Mars in Gemini. So moon in Sagittarius, sun in Pisces. So we have all the mutables lit up right now. Wendy, hello, Aquarius in Vermont. Yeah, it sounds like we're in for a little bit. It's going to be bumpy. It is going to be a little bit bumpy, especially as we get closer tomorrow. We are feeling some of that today. Of course, we're feeling some of that energy today, but it will go into tomorrow and then the rest of the week. So tomorrow we're reevaluating, what did we let go? What did we release? What did we get rid of? You know, if you think of the Farmer's Almanac and comparing it, this is the time where the farmer clears the field to make way for the new moon. Now, the new moon is coming next week, and that's going to be next Tuesday. And that new moon is one of the most strongest new moons of, the year. It always is when the moon is in Aries, the sun's going to be in Aries, and the two of them, it's like fresh beginnings, new starts, hit the reset button. But boy, we're cleaning up things before we hit that reset button. And so before we can celebrate the newness, we have to really make sure everything's cleared out. This is a great time to continue getting rid of things. And if you didn't burn or destroy your new moon manifestation list, if you forgot to burn it during the full moon last week, go ahead and do it tomorrow night. Mark your calendar or put a little reminder on your phone. Do it tomorrow night. The peak or the height of this is going to be 10:08 p.m. Eastern time on March 14th, 10:08 p.m. So 7:08 if you're out on the West Coast, a little earlier. And so, it's kind of going to be a little bit crazy. So Mars is kind of Neptune is zapping Mars's energy at the same time. So it's going to be a little bit rough. Now, not to say that there's not energy on Wednesday, but I'm just highlighting the big things because there's a lot of big things happening. On Thursday, the 16th, we have a lot of not only planetary energy going on, but we also have a lot, we have we have Venus moving into Taurus. So, and I know a couple Tauruses are watching or have Taurus in their chart. Venus is going to be moving into Taurus on the 16th, which is probably the good news of the day. The otherwise, there's some real super really tricky energy on Thursday. And whenever there's this many layers going on, by the way, you guys can, I'm going to let you in behind the scenes here. You ready? It's like super scientific and advanced. But look at this day. Look at this day, this 48 hours. Look at all of that energy going on. Okay, I highlighted all the happenings. This is St. Patty's Day, 16th and 17th. There is a lot of energy going on. That is just in one 48-hour period of time. So whenever there's that many layers, it's like a layer and a layer and a layer and layer. If you think of like making ingredients and you layer that many layers, it's going to be complicated. Even if one of the ingredients is positive, it's a mixture because there's some that are not so positive. There's a lot of intensity going on in the love region and love department. Now, two things that are going to help us. We had two big, or we are having two big planetary things that are shifting into Taurus. Okay, so we have right, Wendy said, don't answer the phone or the front door. I know, right? Hey, Andrea, welcome. Okay, so we have two things. We have Venus going into Taurus on Thursday the 16th, but we also had Juno went into Taurus on Saturday the 11th, March 11th. It already happened. So Juno was already there. Venus is there. And so what is Taurus? So when we think about these two, let's go down. What is Venus and what is Juno? Venus is our love, how we express our love, our sensuality, our fashion and aesthetic sort of sign. It is a sign that also is involved with finances. So if you think about Venus, it's very goddess of love and beauty. She's Aphrodite. She was very beautiful, very fashionable, very expensive. Okay. And so she had nice taste and all that. And so if you think about art, decor, decoration, and who we love and how we experience love, how we experience our own love, that's your Venus sign. So Venus now is in Taurus, which is a very grounded. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So it's like Venus just went home. Okay. Venus, two signs share Venus. Libra shares Venus and Taurus shares Venus. So Taurus, though, is very grounded, very practical. It's much more about that aesthetic that's like comfortable and pleasing. I always think of like Joanna Gaines from HGTV. She has, I can't remember if she's right on the cusp between Aries and Taurus, but she has a ton of Taurus in her chart. I think she might actually be in Aries, but she has a lot of Taurus in her chart. But Joanna Gaines, if you guys know her from HGTV, she's got that very comfortable, relaxed yet elegant aesthetic, and I think that's very classical Venus and Taurus style. Nora Jones is a the singer Nora Jones is that very like sort of quiet, calm, sort of peaceful aesthetic, beautiful singer. And if you know about her, that's kind of very Taurus to me. So we're getting a jump onto almost like Taurus season. These planets are moving very fast right now. Venus is making a good clip right now. And Juno describes who our ideal marriage partner is. Now, if you've never heard of Juno, it's because Juno is an asteroid. And Juno is a goddess, okay? She's one of the females, and she's an asteroid. So Venus is Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, how we experience love, how we show love, our design, our aesthetic, and all those things. And then we have Juno, who describes who our ideal marriage partner is. Now, again, we have two perspectives. One is you have Juno in your chart permanently full-time in some sort of a sign, whatever sign that is for you. And then we have the transiting Juno. So I'm talking about transiting Juno right now is in Taurus. She's going to be in Taurus for almost 2 months, March 11th, all the way until May 2nd. Now, Juno and Taurus is kind of the same thing. It's like we are looking for a partner who is very grounded, very solid, doesn't, go out every single night partying. Like this is a more sensual, because Taurus is a very sensual, grounded earth sign. And so this is much more grounded, earthy energy for both of these love partners sort of to be in, these lovers of the zodiac. You know, it's really much more, we're looking for a solid, something solid and financially stable. Okay. I know a lot of Tauruses that do not mess with the partners that are unless that they have another sign, you know, big three that's in their chart. I know a lot of Tauruses do not mess around with people who are not financially stable in some way, shape, or form. Not that Tauruses are gold diggers. I am not saying that at all. I'm just saying that's a value they have. They look, because Taurus is the ruler of the second house of the zodiac chart, of the astrological chart, which rules over our monetary and our possessions. Now, what is going on with the banks right now? You might be hearing in the news that there's a lot of like stuff going on with the banks, and we want to have a financially stable partner. We want to be financially stable ourselves. And so with Taurus there, we are looking for definitely something that is worthy, right? Yeah, Amir, you are a Taurus, and I love having your perspective. Match our energy, that is all, right? So, right, it's not like you're looking for, like, you know, necessarily someone that's a bajillionaire. Maybe you might be, but not necessarily. But more that you hold your end up, like you know, like Tauruses do not like to date usually people who are, you know, the laying on the couch unemployed type. They like to have that. Now Taurus definitely has a work hard, play hard sort of thing themselves. A lot of Tauruses I know, their energy does come in a lot in spurts, and that they like to sort of work hard, play hard. They are that grounded earthy sign, but they also are ruled by Venus, who loves to dream and have the aesthetics and the beauty and all that stuff. And so we have both Juno and Venus. Now it depends on where Taurus is in your astrological chart in order to know how this will affect you on a personal level. We'll have Venus in Taurus for about 1 month until April 11th. So Venus is going to be in Taurus from March 16th, 2023, all the way until April 11th of 2023. And so, you know, we have these two kind of layers in going through Taurus right now. Juno is quite positive. She's kind of influences who we might be looking for if we are single and looking for a partner. That again, we want to have that Taurus grounded, earthy partner who has that, you know, sort of relaxed but yet good looking aesthetic, and definitely you know, has some kind of financial stability. So, you know, it is a thing. Oh, Wendy, I'm so sorry. Your brother's a Taurus and he's having a really hard time emotionally right now. I'm so sorry to hear that. Depends on what also is in his chart, if he has what his moon and his rising sign is, things like that. But that will actually give your brother a boost, having the two lovers and the two females in his area of Taurus. And again, it depends on where it is in your chart. And also, how does this affect you on a personal level? So if you are a Taurus or a Scorpio, you will be feeling this. Now, Taurus will be opposing Scorpio. So Scorpio won't be, will get a little challenge in the love department, okay? And then, of course, Leo and Aquarius could even be feeling this. They're all the fixed signs. They could all be feeling this energy, especially, let's say, if your Venus is in Aquarius or if your Venus is in Leo, this Taurus might be Venus square Venus. But here's the cool thing. When a lover squares the lover, it's not super bad. You know, it is a little bit more of, it's a challenge, but it's a little bit more of a minor, we'll say a minor challenge. And sometimes these challenges can activate the energy in your chart. So if you've been looking for love, even though it's a little bit more of a contentious energy, like let's say you forget all your groceries and you have to go back to the grocery store, and then boop, you meet somebody that way. Like, see, there was a little bit of a strife, but it worked out in the end because you met somebody new. So even when there's challenges to Venus can be pleasant to deal with. Except I have one exception here. Just on the day, on this compact 48 hour period where there's going to be all kinds of things going on. All right. So on the 16th, I'm going to just kind of, so remember when I said that Mars is going to be square Neptune this week? Well, Mercury is going to be conjunct Neptune. Mercury is sitting on top of Neptune, both in Pisces, and that's going to be on Thursday, the 16th at 1:13 p.m. Eastern time. But again, we're going to be feeling this all week. The sun then is going to form a square to Mars. Okay, the sun is in Pisces, Mars in Gemini. And then, so you hear Pisces, Gemini a lot. At 2:10 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. And then Venus is going to form a square with Pluto. Venus, as I just said, is going to be going into Taurus that day, but it's going to be in the last degree of Aries when it squares Pluto. So now we have Aries and Capricorn to deal with, and that's at 3:59 p.m. Eastern time. So what does all that mean? I'm going to kind of sort of try to condense all this. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like communication, love, our daydreams, our power, our aggression. I mean, it's going to be all like a big, weird, maybe not very fun, toxic soup. It's like some of this, like if I was looking at this all separately, like the Mercury conjunction with Neptune, that could be kind of fun. Dreams and illusions and, whatever. It would make us not very mentally focused and sharp, but it could be good for creativity. But these others, Mars square the sun, Venus square Pluto, oh my God, those are that's power struggles to the 10th degree. Then the next day, on March 17th, there's 3 more big transits happening. So we have, and that's going to be on St. Patrick's Day if anybody out there celebrates. Hey, I have like a drop of Irish in me. I got somewhat of a reddish hair and the green eyes. I guess I can pull it off a little bit. Mercury is going to then square Mars overnight, right after midnight at 12:49 a.m. The sun is going to form a conjunction with Mercury. Didn't I just say Mercury is conjunct Neptune? Okay. And then we have Venus forming a sextile with Saturn. Oh, this is just so much. I mean, so Mercury is going to be in Pisces, Mars again in Gemini, the sun in Pisces, conjunct Mercury in Pisces. Then we have Venus now in Taurus, forming a sextile with Saturn. It's too much. It's just too much. So when things like this happen, no astrologer can say, okay, this is the deal. What I do expect is there's going to be a ton of stuff on the news. There's going to be all kinds of layers on the news, not to scare anybody, not to make anybody that's not what astrology is meant for. Astrology is forewarned is forearmed. So when somebody on here, the broadcast said, don't answer the phone, lock the doors. Yeah, forewarned is forearmed. There's going to be a lot of stuff. There's going to be tensions. There's going to be, so here's a good example. If you plan to run errands, don't do it during Thursday, Friday. If you plan to go out, we have a big storm coming here in the Northeast. I just said Tuesday is going to be kind of crackers. It's going to be it's going to not be fun. So don't go driving when it's going to be 18 inches of snow. That's not going to be a wise thing to do if you can avoid it. And so that's kind of how you handle, if you can. I'm not talking about locking yourself in the house necessarily, but it's not getting into those big political fights, going to a contentious, work party that, everybody's gonna, be like, rah, and whatever it is. And especially if you're any of the signs that I listed, which there's a lot of signs, you're going to be in the heart of it and you're going to be feeling it. So this is just something that you can kind of keep in mind and not hide away, not be terrified, not be afraid, none of that, but just handle it with a lot of respect, handle the energy, be respectful. It's like if you had a powerful snake or something living in your house, you would want to have a good lock on the cage and all the good stuff with it, keep it in its box, and so that's kind of the deal with these energies on Thursday and Friday. It's a mixed bag. Some people are going to say, well, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was intense, but I got a raise and a bonus and whatever. And then some people are going to be like, it was a nightmare and all these bad things happen. So when it's a mixed bag like that, I can't give a mass prediction for everybody and say that this is going to be true for everybody. I never can say that, first of all. But second of all, especially with this many layers, and some of it's good and some of it's super not good, it's going to be a mixed bag. So especially that that Venus is forming a square with Pluto and a sextile with Saturn. Well, Pluto and Saturn, they're not fun. So if you have a love kind of thing going on right now, significant other, something that's complicated, it's difficult, it's whatever it is, that could be stressful. So give your partner a lot of space and a lot of, positive feedback and whatever thing it is that you can do that's easier. Maybe if you have a hot topic, maybe if you vote differently, at the voting booth or something, you might not want to talk about it during these days, because this could be something that could blow up to the point of not being like repaired, especially with that Pluto thing. Ooh, there can be jealousy and suspicion and all that kind of stuff. So we don't want to do any of that. And even this Sun square Mars and then Mercury square Mars, well, this is talking and getting ourselves into hot water. Oh my God. If you think about Sun and Mercury talking, it's ego. The Sun is our ego and our general self. Squaring Mars, that's a lot. And then Mercury and Mars are conjunct each other. It's just going to be so much. So what I will say is, use caution around Thursday, Friday, especially. But remember, those are just the peak days, the peak times that I'm giving you, and that, it's going to be leading up to. So we're going to have some weird, difficult energy on Tuesday, kind of a little break, kind of, on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, we go into this like tsunami of energy. So it's a lot. Again, Venus and Juno are the two bright spots here, where they're both going into Taurus, especially since that's, Taurus's native planet. And so it's natural, it's home in that department. We'll get homey. We'll feel very homey, very secure, we'll look for safety. We're going to look for safety in relationships. I think we always should, but especially with Venus, Venus and Taurus is not quite as like looking for that heady kind of super uber passionate, like, throw you on the bed kind of a thing. It's more about like, are they responsible, and are they there, and all those types of, like, are they calling when they say they call? Are they going to show up? We're going to be looking for a more solid person, especially with Juno there too, who our ideal marriage partner is. If anybody has any questions about Juno, I'm one of the astrologers that talks about the asteroids, and boy, when you start to follow the asteroids, I mean, they're so predictive. It's crazy. So I always include them because they're pretty incredible. Tina, hello, welcome. Scorpio, Aries, Moon, Virgo rising. Wow. What a mess right now. Yes. Rita, Virgo in Colorado. Welcome. Jacoy, emotional roller coaster. Yes. Wendy tagging a couple people. That's amazing. Thank you. Andrea said stay home. So make sure you like and share this post. And then we are getting into Aries season. Okay, so on Sunday, March 19th, we have Mercury moving into Aries. And then next Monday night, so I'll see you guys next Monday night for sure, 8 p.m. I try to get on at 8 p.m. if I can. Monday night, we have the sun, or Monday during the day, we have the sun moving into Aries. Also, we will be starting Aries season. Now, here's the interesting thing about all of this Aries energy is that Aries is something new. It's a new thing. We have a new beginning. In astrology, it is considered to be the new year, okay? And it's the spring equinox, okay? It's International Astrology Day on Monday, on the day of the spring equinox, because of course, if it's the new year, astrologers going to make that the International Astrology Day. So anyway, so Mercury is going to move, starting on Sunday, is going to move into Aries. And that's going to happen on Sunday, March 19th at 12:24 a.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that on Saturday, if you're out on the West Coast, and that's going to start Mercury in Aries. And then the next day, spring equinox, which I'll talk to you guys after officially Aries season starts on next Monday, but that's going to start at 5:24 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. And then that's the official spring equinox, which is going to be amazing. And I love that. So, Wendy said, okay, she wants to know what the symbol is for Juno. I'm going to show it to you. This is my super high tech. It's usually something like this. It looks almost like an asterisk with a little kind of, that's like often how it's, some people make it, but it's usually some kind of like a star looking thing, like a little, okay. That's my artistic work there, Wendy. So anyway, so when we look at Mercury going into Aries, now we're talking about bold communications, okay? So if you think about Mercury is how you think, talk, and communicate, and we will be going into bold communications. Aries is a little bit in your face. Aries is ruled by Mars, the god of war. So Aries likes to be really drive things home and be ambitious and be quite communicative forcefully sometimes. And so we have to watch the Mercury in Aries. I have Mercury in Aries. Just saying. And I can sometimes be a little aggressive when I chilled out in my older age. But it's going to be in Aries from March 19th, 2023 all the way until April 3rd. And it'll be only in Aries for just 2 quick weeks. Mercury's moving pretty fast, but it is going to be slowing down soon next month on April 21st. We are going to have our very first Mercury retrograde of the year, and it is going to be in Taurus. Heads up for all you Tauruses out there. On April 21st, you might want to write that down on your calendar. It'll be starting at 4:35 a.m. Eastern time on April 21st, 2023 in Taurus. So it's moving quickly through Aries, but once it gets into Taurus on April 3rd, it's like, and it kind of really slows down because it's getting ready to go retrograde next month. So if you have things that you're planning, and if you have different things, events or whatever, even as we're preparing our taxes and things like that, if you haven't done them already, it's going to be retrograde. It's starting to slow down and get into that retrograde time. It'll be hopefully still functioning, but it'll be slower, as we're preparing for the tax season. So Aries is a bold sign. It's all about spring, it's newness, it's all that stuff. I'm going to be going over that more next week as we get closer, or as I cover this as far as Aries season goes. But just know, Mercury is communication. It's our brain function. It's how we travel, how we get around. That's in Aries. And so if you think about it, it's bold. Mercury right now, how we travel and how we get around. Somebody watching the broadcast unfortunately had an accident today. It's in Pisces, and it's said to be at its detriment in Pisces. Mercury in Pisces is not as comfortable because Pisces is the fish. Well, Pisces doesn't fly and, drive a car and all that kind of stuff. So nebulous Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Well, we have a Mercury, Neptune, Pisces thing going on right now, and communication might not be as clear, and signing contracts is not as good. Once it gets into Aries, it speeds up because Aries is a faster sort of sign, gets very bold, gets extremely direct. I'm an Aries again. I've admitted out loud. Some people, and somebody that I knew in my life very well said to me, and I actually took it as a really big compliment. The person said, no matter what, Gretchen, people always know where they stand with you because you're very, I'm to the point. Like, it is what it is. And so Mercury in Aries is like that. And I think it's better than playing games and trying to guess how does someone, what's the communication and all that. It's about being very clear, very direct. If you think of Aries as the ram and it's the head, right? And it's like kind of just going in head first and, and being direct. That's very Mercury in Aries. Wendy said, my friend is in Aries and my Lord, she's direct and moves at lightning speed in everything she does. Yeah, that's very Aries. So if somebody has a lot of fire, if you are an Aries, or if you have Sagittarius or Leo, that's definitely going to light up your life, I guess. Air signs, definitely fire energy needs air. Okay, so you guys will be feeling that as well. All the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you guys will be feeling that too. Libra, though, will be tested by Aries because Aries and Libra are opposite each other. So it'll almost be like a full moon. If you're a Libra out there, you might be feeling almost like this is like, whoa, what's going on? It kind of challenges each other. So we're starting our Aries season. We still have 1 week left this week. So if you're just watching this broadcast, we still have this 1 week chunk of Mercury and Pisces. And so it's definitely something that we're still kind of in. Not that it's a bad thing, but it is considered to be at its detriment in Pisces, meaning that it doesn't function as well in Pisces. Certain planets function better in certain signs. And so doesn't function as well in Pisces. So we have to watch our communication this month, and especially, gosh, during this hot spot of this week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, really specifically, it's going to be a lot. So I hope that helps. Oh, Danielle, hey, welcome. Let me know how you did. I think that's awesome. I got the message. I hadn't been able to respond yet, but let me know how that goes. 2 Aries children, Danielle. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. I met them. They're wonderful and they're cute and they're super spunky. And so, yeah, so, oh, you'll know tomorrow. Okay. Everybody give Danielle good vibes. She's getting a good big job opportunity that's coming. So Danielle, we'll give her all nice love, and Rosalie as well, who was in a car accident and doesn't feel very well. Okay. So if anybody has any questions for me, now is the time. We have a lot of energy. I am going to be pulling a card for the week. What do we need to know? And so we have planets moving into Taurus. We have planets moving into Aries. There's a lot of energy right now. It is a lot. It is a lot. So if anybody has a question that they want to put in the comments for me, let me know. I usually only answer 1 or 2 or so per program. Melinda said, good luck, Danielle. I love that. What do we need to know about this week? So we have the 4th quarter. I'm going to do a recap while people are typing. 4th quarter lunar cycle, second chance full moon is tomorrow on March 14th, 2022. Sun is in Pisces, moon is in Sagittarius. That's a little bit of a stressor right there. Mars is also going to be square Neptune tomorrow, and that's going to be a stressor, and that's not very good energy right now, and it makes us feel tired. It affects our vitality, and it makes us feel a little bit zapped of energy. It's not going to be permanent, but it is going to be active for during the week. Then on Thursday we have Venus moving into Taurus. We already had Juno in Taurus. Now we have Venus in Taurus, the 2 lovers. We have Mercury conjunct Neptune. We have Sun square Mars. We have Venus square Pluto, all on Thursday. And then Friday, it continues with Mercury square Mars, Sun conjunct Mercury, and then we have Venus sextile Saturn. That's a lot of energy in 48 hours. Luckily, Saturday, I missed, Saturday is going to have even Mercury sextile Pluto. This is all talking, communicating, Mars's action. We have just a lot of energy. And then on Sunday, we have Mercury moving into Aries. So it's a lot. And it will be kind of crazy though. Okay. Wendy wants me to pull a card for her brother. I'm going to switch decks here. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Lori. You have a crazy family thing. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I hope it was good. Kind of sounds like it was good, but stressful too. All right. So Wendy, I'm going to pull a card. Melinda asked, does everybody have Juno in their chart? Yes, everybody has Juno somewhere in their astrological birth chart. We all have the ideal marriage partner, and that describes, so let me back up and answer Melinda's question just for a second. Then Wendy, I'm going to pull a card for your brother. And if anybody else has any other questions, very briefly. So if you look to, let's say your Juno is in Taurus. Juno is in Taurus right now, transiting Juno. But let's say your Juno, it means you're looking for somebody that sometimes we marry literally our Juno sign, like the person who is, or we marry somebody who has those types of traits and qualities that the sign sort of personifies, if that makes sense. So you want to look to see where Juno is in your astrological chart in order to know where it is. That's who your ideal marriage partner is, who you like or what you like in a person. That's what that describes. But transiting wise, we all have Juno and Taurus right now. And it means that we're going to start, it kind of flavors or influences how we feel. Yes, we all have a personal Juno sign, but like when the transiting one, it kind of gives the collective, we all have our free will, free choice, but it kind of gives the collective that flavor of like, we'll be leaning towards wanting to have, like I said, the financial responsibility and somebody who's solid and, all those types of traits. Yay. So, okay. Wendy, what do you need to know about your brother? Ooh, he is going through a lot. I get like my head hurt. My head hurt when I started dipping into him. I don't know if he has a headache right now or if he has had some kind of a head trauma or migraines or so there's something with his head. It really feels weird to me. I'm sorry to say that on camera, but that's a thing. He's getting Mars, the god of war, Wendy. And so, yes, he gets migraines. It's really brutal. It's brutal. His migraines are pretty strong, and it's affecting my eyesight even. I feel a lot of pain, pressure, eyesight stuff. It's a lot. It's very brutal. He might even be on the cusp of having a migraine. That's why I'm like picking up on it so strongly. Because as soon as I dipped into him, it's like whammo, like right in my head. So I'm going to have to clear that energy out just for a second. I'm a physical medium, which means I can feel other people's pain, which is a good thing because that helps me in my readings, but it also, I take it on for just a moment, so I have to clear that out. He is getting Mars, the god of war, which is anger. It is inflammation. It can be, it's the ruler of Aries, so Aries is the head too. He did get, though, some cards. He feels very lonely, but actually kind of things are going to change for him. Dead tree, there's a beautiful new tree, a butterfly. This card was the Hermit card. So you got Mars, you got the Hermit card, you got regeneration, change. He's going to be okay. I think he needs to, part of his deal is that he's looking, and I know this sounds very simplistic, but for the sake of time, he looks at things as cup is half empty and not half full. So he's got to look at his blessings, because I do feel he could turn the corner. He's kind of had like a period of time, it feels like he's been down on his luck, and he feels lonely, he feels isolated. I don't know if he's like having problems in a relationship or if he has no relationship and he's just like wah, wah. But he's been feeling a little sorry for himself. I'm sorry to say that. So he really needs to look at his blessings, look at his life, look at what works and not what doesn't work. It's like he's staring at that thing that doesn't work, and he's cursing it and he's yelling at it and he's kicking it. And meanwhile, there's a bunch of things that do work. So he's like tunnel visioning on that thing, and he's like looping, and he's very stuck in that state. It's not to say it's going to be by magic that he's going to just kind of like click out of it one day. But I think he needs, if he's open, you can have him watch this broadcast and listen to my explanation. But I do feel that he has blessings and gifts he's not looking at. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Oh my goodness, so many questions now. I can only do one or two, so let me just see. Let's see here. Wendy said, yes, thank you. Very spot on. Lonely, misses me and my mom, needs to pull up his bootstraps. Yeah, a lot of it. Oh, Erin, thank you. She said, world-class empath, clear away. Yeah, I know. I got really hooked into that for a minute there. It was like right in my face. Yeah. So Tina, you asked about getting owed money. Oh, I can see this. This is the first card that comes out here, girl. I'm getting the number 3 associated with that. Could be a long time. I feel like this has been going on a long time. 3 could be 3 weeks, 3 months, but it could also be 3 years or March. But I'm going to just say this, Tina, you get material spiritual conflict. Material spiritual conflict, that's this card, which shows that there is a kind of like a battle going on between like the real world and like what you desire. You get Mars, which you have to fight for it. That's Mars came out again. See, there's a lot of Mars energy in the atmosphere. And then you got the card of rules and regulations. Somebody is dictating whether or not you get this money. Tina, if you're on the broadcast, say something, but this is saying that that you basically, it's like the little child hand and the big large authoritative hand. That basically means that there is somebody of an authority or some kind of thing. I call that rules and regulations. Sometimes it can even be legal or a court system that is sort of dictating, or I feel like timelines are a factor here. Like maybe this is a court thing or something, because you're like having to wait for timelines, and it's not you, it's like somebody else is in charge of that. But outcome card is saying yes. Outcome card is saying yes, but it's like a lot of patience. This can also be a big corporation, or, because if you look at it, it's a castle, it's like some big solid, like, thing. The king and queen live in the castle. So you might be waiting on something that, again, somebody else, it feels like a while. The other thing is too, so this is for everybody, Tina. This is why it's good to listen to the questions, because sometimes you guys can hear messages even for yourself. Sometimes and it's even like Wendy's brother, like staring at a closed door, like you're staring at that thing, you want that thing. Let's say it's $50,000. I'm just going to like throw out, you said big amount of money, so I'm going to throw out $50,000. Let's say it's $50,000 and you're staring at it. I have to get it from this way. And when we do that, we go really myopic and we get very focused on that's the one and only way that $50,000 can come in. So it's almost like win the lottery, somebody loaning it to you, making it through a business thing, like you're pushing it all away. You're pushing away all of the ways that you could make $50,000. So because you're tunnel visioning, you're drilling down that is the one and only way that money will come to you. So what I always tell people when you're looking at manifest, let's say you have an unexpected repair. Like let's say the repair is just for round figures, $100. And you're like, oh, I just got $100 and now I got to spend $100. Well, okay. Tell the universe you would like that to be returned to you doubled. So you'll get $200 back in a totally different way. And so I always I know that sounds a little out there and a little magical, but the universe is very loving and giving. God, the universe, Buddha, whoever you pray to, doesn't matter, the angels, they're looking out for you. They want to help you. So if you're just sort of pushing away different ways that things can come to you, try not to do that, because you might be staring at that closed door and pushing away all the different ways that money, large amounts of money, could come in. It could come in that way or maybe another way, you know? And so it's really good. It's really good for you to kind of expand your consciousness. And it doesn't even have to be 50,000. Maybe it's 100,000. You see, so sometimes we get ourselves really pigeonholed into a small, and I like to think big, and the bigger we put our own glass ceiling sometimes over our heads. So sometimes the bigger, I'm just telling you, Tina, so you can like back up and just really take a big wide view. Who cares if it comes through that way? Who cares? Maybe it's a different way. So yeah, so I hope that helps everybody out there that, you know, that might need to hear that message, not just Tina. Sometimes we really pigeonhole ourselves on one method. Method doesn't matter. It's just getting the outcome that you want to be abundant, you want to be prosperous, you want to be financially solvent at the least, but able to give, able to donate money freely and easily, able to, you know, finance. You can pay for everybody's birthday presents and Christmas presents easily, Hanukkah presents, whatever it is you celebrate, you know, it doesn't matter. So you can celebrate different things. Even one time when I was doing manifesting of money, I was like, I just want to be able to buy all organic and all our natural products. Like, that's expensive, right? And so just opening your mind, opening your consciousness and saying, oh, I can easily buy like the most expensive, like organic hand soap or whatever it is. When you want to, whatever it is you want to do, just kind of back up and make it broader and bigger. So I hope that helps. So I am going to pull one card. What do we need to know about some of this difficult energy that we really do have? Oh, nice, Tina. Tina said, thank you. And I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Danielle, I'm going to pull one quick card for you, and then I'm going to pull the big card, the weekly card. What does Danielle need to know? I'm just going to pull a really quick card. Oh, listen only to love, not your fear, my dear. Listen only to love. Don't allow fear to distract you from your divine mission. Okay, so remember, it doesn't have to be just that job, even though that's the dream job and we think it's the only thing. So don't allow fear to kind of muck up your manifesting. They're going to love you. They would be lucky to have you. Okay, so you want to think of it that way. Are you going to give your gifts and blessings to this company or another company? You know, I mean, that's kind of how you want to look at it. I know it sounds a little stuck up, if you will, but it's time for some of us empaths and light workers to be a little more spiritually selfish and a little bit more spiritually stuck up. It's okay. It's okay. Be kind to yourself and say, I'm going to give blessings to whomever I work for, whomever I align with romantically, so they better be willing to give back to me. Like Almir said, kind of, I just want someone that's going to match my energy. Well, right. Like if you're a giving, loving, generous, kind, hard worker, whatever, know your worth. Exactly. Jacoy, know your worth. I love that. Exactly. Yeah. So give the love, give your blessings and your gifts and your love. Okay. So what do we need to know about this crazy energy, this crazy week? We have a little bit of a crazy week coming. So what we need to know, the ups and downs, the ins and outs, so that we can manifest the highest and truest and best pathway for everything that we do through this week, so that we can be giving with love and service and kindness and receiving love and service and kindness, receiving it as well as giving. Oh, share your art with the world. Share your art with the world. It's time to allow others to enjoy your creative work, whatever that creative work may be, whether it's cooking a hot meal, whether it's, words and mailing somebody a beautiful card or sending somebody a beautiful present, whatever that thing is that it says art, but giving of yourself, share it with the world, whatever it is that you have the beauty inside of you, Don't keep it hidden. Allow the beauty inside of you, the art that's inside of you, the creative inside of you, the love that's inside of you. Allow that to come forward and allow that to shine and share it, because the collective is pretty, we'll just say, dark right now. And there's a lot of things coming next week, which I'll be talking a lot about. Like I said, the sun is going to be moving into Aries. We're going to have spring equinox, but we also have Pluto moving into Aquarius. This is huge, big front page news. The only time in our life that we will ever experience Pluto and Aquarius. And that's going to be on Thursday, March 23rd. And then we do have Mars moving on too. Mars is going to move into Cancer on Saturday, March 25th. There's a lot of planetary activity and stuff. So let's put good into the collective, and so that we can raise not only ourselves, but our collective consciousness all at once. I love you guys. And if you guys would like to have a more of a deeper astrological reading with me, a personalized one-on-one reading, go ahead over to my website, GretchenHeidel.com. There's a drop-down menu. It'll show you the list of readings and all those things. You can send me a text message. You can send me a private message. Make sure you subscribe. Please, please, please. My goal for 2023 at least is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to YouTube yet, please subscribe to YouTube. That would mean a lot to me. TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Monday night and spending your time with me. And take care. Lots of blessings. Namaste.